brilliant Banshees.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with the Banshees. They were amazing. The Bantering Banshees.
Boo-Foons, mystery investigators.
Off the case.
Do you know, the funny thing was, when we were talking about it initially, I was thinking we're so different. You know, they're just such enthusiastic Americans, you know, and we're just not.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, I think we fitted all in really well together.
We did. Well, I believe we actually discussed in the episode about how we're like yin and yang, that we're the ones that people fall asleep to. They're the ones that people wake up to. So we're, you know, we're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
We are the alpha and the omega.
But the other thing that was kind of weird is that we kind of took over, I think, to a degree, where I thought that they would be so enthusiastic and like they are just so bubbly and wonderful. And I just thought that we're just going to sound really dull, but I think they lifted us up.
They did. They definitely did.
We had to pick up our game, didn't we? We for sure.
We did. And we ended up talking to them for a very long time, which was lovely.
It was lovely. It was a really good long session, which didn't even feel like it was long, did it? Really?
No, didn't at all.
We've been very lucky with our guests so far. All very lucky with our guests, and very lucky with the people who have joined us. And I think, I hope it carries on like this. But yeah, so Dan, what are we going to do with all that footage, all that we had?
Well, today, and happy Saturday, welcome to another episode of Boo-Foons Off the Case. And today, being off the case, we have got a lot of content here from our conversation with the Bantering Banshees, which is all very, very good content. However, because our main Wednesday episode has been about Anne Boleyn and the many ghost sightings of Anne Boleyn, we sort of wanted to keep the Wednesday episode as being about Anne Boleyn, with having brilliant guests of the Bantering Banshees. And today is going to be a showcase of all of that brilliant material. So this is one of those episodes where we said in the introduction to this, there are going to be episodes where we've got outtakes that are absolute gold. And today is exactly that. We have got bits of conversation from the Banshees, which unfortunately we had to cut out from the main episode because it detracted too much from the Anne Boleyn story. But we've got some amazing conversation and bits that we discussed with them. And today is just going to be a bit of a clip reel, bit of a clip show of some of the best bits from our conversation with the amazing, talented Bantering Banshees.
Enjoy. I know we did. Hello.
No, it's not just Jill. It's both of them. Hello, both.
Hello.
How are you going? Hello. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Now I feel jealous because we're not in the same room. Maybe I should have made a special.
Yeah, come to visit us. That's it.
Yeah.
We live about 250 miles away from each other, so it's quite a journey. We don't get to see each other that often.
Oh, I'm glad we don't live that far.
Oh no, yeah, we hate recording separately.
Yeah.
We've had to do it twice?
Mhm.
Twice now.
Twice.
And we both were like, ooh, like didn't like the way it just like the energy was off, and we were just like, I don't want to do that again.
That was horrid.
We very much get like we are one and the same, and we like thrive and go off of each other. So that's kind of what makes us tick.
Yeah.
Yes. Usually when I go meet Dan, we end up drinking, so there's that added element of alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Every time.
And then I'm the one that gets blamed for it, you know. Yeah.
I get blamed for getting her drunk. I'm like, listen, it's not my fault. You are, two and done. Like, she is a cheap date. She is easy.
Well, I didn't used to drink until we started the podcast.
Dan.
It is all his fault.
It's always definitely, yeah. He lives for his beer. That's it. And he does. I'm not kidding.
Funny enough, you said this morning, I was starting to sort out the spare room, and I was looking at all my brewing equipment and thought I haven't brewed a beer for about 5 years, so maybe I should get rid of my brewing equipment.
Oh, you're a brewer, so you're into the complexities of the beer world.
Yes, one is quite a snob, get the nose and the scent and everything, and go over, get it all over the palate,
Yes, and the sniffing and the yes.
So I don't know if you've seen the video of that dude on it goes on TikTok every so often with the whiskey, where he pours a bit of whiskey into the glass, throws it off to the side, then he goes, and then you've got to say hello, and then hello again, and then hello again, and then how's your weekend? And the whole time he's just sniffing it, and he goes, and then when you've got the smell of it, then you could drink it. And he just takes her down a whole mouthful, and then spits it back into the glass, and then he throws it, and then pours himself another one, and then drinks it again. He goes, and then you can appreciate the whiskey. And this was for, I don't know what it was for. It must have been for a TV show. I don't know whether it was a legitimate thing or a comedy thing, but based on the video quality, it's clearly 70s or 80s.
Yep.
But I don't know if it was a comedy thing or not. But I see it all get reposted all the time. This dude doing this whiskey tasting, and it just makes you laugh the way he's like, say hello, and then hello again, and then say how's your weekend. Yeah. And I have been to events.
Throwing it out in America, that's considered alcohol abuse. You don't just get rid of it, you drink it. So that would be a dangerous thing if it was over here.
We'd be like, what are you doing?
Somebody would be on the other side of the camera going, got it.
That'd be Dan. Dan, tell the ladies when you flooded your house out with your brew.
Oh, that was a few years ago. I forgot about that. So
this is why Dan stopped brewing his own. This is why he stopped brewing his own beer.
Well, there's been. Are you referring to when you were here, or are you referring to the other incident when I had the waterfall?
Yes, the waterfall.
The waterfall. Yeah. So I was once bought. It was a gift set. So it was early on in my brewing journey where I hadn't quite figured out all the technical side of things, and I would produce a beer, you'll try it, and it was bloody awful. But one of these kits I'd bought came with this plastic sort of bladder type thing, and the idea was that you'd do the fermentation, you would then transfer it into like this thin-walled plastic keg thing that had a little tap on it. So anyway, I've got the beer in this little keg type thing, and it was in my airing cupboard upstairs. So, where you keep towels. I don't know what you would call it in America. Do you have airing cupboards? The room, the place where you'd keep your towels and your
we call
bed.
It a linen closet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically that, So I've got it in there, and I get home from work one day, and as I come, so I've got my front door's there, and then I've got a doorway there. So and as I come in the room, I suddenly smell beer, and it smells like going into a pub, like when you're closing up. And that's all I can smell is beer, and I'm like, that's a really weird smell to come. It's a lovely smell. I can smell beer, and I open the door that's just behind the camera here to go into my hallway, and from the ceiling there's just a waterfall of beer falling onto the floor, and I'm like, where on earth is that coming from? So I run upstairs, realizing that the airing cupboard's just above, open the door, and this bladdery keg thing because of the it hadn't quite finished fermenting, and because it was a thin-walled plastic, along one of the seams, the plastic had just split open,
Oh,
and all the
my
beer
God.
was just gushing out, and then it was coming through the ceiling and covering up. So I had to
Awesome.
make bleach solution and everything to try and get it out, because if not, it would have been this horrible sticky mess. So for a while, I had to I was putting a bleach diluted with water through the cracks just to make sure all the beer was gone. And then there was a time that Steve visited, and again, it was fairly early in the journey, and I'd had a load of bottles on the bottom of the steps ready to condition before I put them in the fridge. And Steve comes in, and I'd been at work, and I think Steve had driven up, picked me up from work, so I'd been out all day. Came in, and he goes to the toilet, because my toilet's upstairs. So he runs up the stairs, and then suddenly goes, "There's glass at the bottom of your stairs." And a few of the bottles had just exploded under the sheer pressure. Yeah. So they're my two disasters with brewing.
And see, that would have been enough for me. I would have been like, all right, universe, I heard you. You're
saying we're done.
I'm going to pick up crocheting. Sounds much less sticky and smelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just easier just to drink it, not brew it. Let somebody else do that part.
Yep.
Yeah. Just be the consumer. We don't need to be the creator. We don't have to do everything.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my.
That's why they make moonshine outside.
Yes.
There's a couple other reasons, like, the fire and heat and everything. But yes.
I didn't realize they'd made moonshine outside until I watched Charlie's Angels the other day. It was an old episode of Charlie's Angels, and they were brewing moonshine outside in the. It's like they do it in the garden. That makes so much sense.
So moonshine is
learned.
actually how NASCAR started in America, because the moonshiners used to have to outrun the cops, and if you were a good enough driver and you were fast enough, that's an American sport. It starts off with alcohol and engines. I mean,
beautiful.
So
two things you're not allowed to mix.
So Cars 3 was real.
Yeah.
So in Cars 3, when they say about running the moonshine and they get Lightning McQueen to go around all the trees, that's based on fact.
Correct.
That's cool.
Even Disney is like, hey parents, we got something for you. Look over here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, that is how it all started. Good old moonshine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've never had that. Alcohol's always been freely available over here. We've never had a ban of alcohol. Even when there was rationing during the war, alcohol wasn't rationed. It's just like alcohol and cigarettes. Just eat and smoke and drink as much as you want. But food, you can't have it.
Well,
they knew how to keep morale high.
That's it.
Well, the Second World War is why Guinness became the huge drink it is now. Because before the Second World War, Guinness was pretty much exclusively Irish, and very little was sold in England and the rest of the UK and Great Britain. And during the Second World War, Guinness was one of the few breweries that was still producing quite a lot of beer. So they started shipping it over into England and London, which then got sent out. So then Guinness then became a very popular drink. And then they went, hang on a minute, we need to start brewing in London. So they then opened a brewery in London to start producing Guinness, and then because they then had the Guinness brewery in Dublin and then the one in London, the explosion of Guinness in pubs and everything just it went massive. And then because they had the health campaign as well of Guinness is good for you because it contains iron and that sort of thing, they actually gave it.
Good for you.
Yeah. They used to give it to pregnant women in hospitals. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
That's a level.
Oh my gosh. Here, just have a Guinness. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how in the US cigarettes used to be prescribed to people for weight management. You're hysterical. Here's a pack of cigs. Go home, smoke those. You'll be fine. It's crazy how rubbing whiskey on your baby's teeth, that'll help them sleep. Sure the hell it will.
Yeah. That's what happened to me, apparently, according to my mum. I was always drunk when I was a baby. It's the only way to shut me up.
Well, my
Listen,
parents.
we
claim-
had to survive. You do what you gotta do.
That's it. Hasn't done me any harm.
Well, my parents claim that the reason why I like beer is when I was a day old and they took me out home from hospital. My dad claims that his hobby is working in a pub. My dad has worked in pubs as a hobby. So that's his secondary job. And there was a pub directly opposite the flat that my parents lived in at the time. And my dad was working there and they took me to the pub. And while I was there was one of the guys at the bar was taking out my dummy, dipping it in his beer and putting it back in. And according to my dad, that's why I love beer so much now. Because of a guy called Dave, who actually I last saw when I went to my parents. My dad was working at the pub and I went to see him. And my dad goes, "Do you know who this man is?" I went, "I've no idea who this old man is." And my dad goes, "That's Dave. He's the one that got you into drinking beer."
Yeah.
Of course it's Dave. Oh my God.
The amount of Dave's spits you drank, and he drank your spits for ages. It was great. You two are a lot closer than you thought.
Yeah, Dave could be Dave.
This
could
is
be your
Uncle
dad.
Dave.
We don't know.
Dave the Pinky Stealer.
Your
Wow.
Uncle Dave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh.
That's a trip.
Yeah. Well,
Holy crap.
pubs are very much a big British culture thing, aren't they?
Oh
Well, they were
gosh.
until the government decided to shut them all down.
Yeah, well, that's through all their taxation and everything.
Yes, we're having a lot of
Yeah.
trouble over here with all the pubs closing down at the moment. There's
And
not going to
breweries.
be any left. Yeah, they're doing
That's a bit
everything
of
they
an
can to tax
atrocity.
them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a tidbit.
We should talk to Luke and Lauren.
Well, they're from England now.
What do you think the UK is?
Oh my God, never mind. Never mind. I am not the history buff.
I was going to say, have we now got to do the whole geography lesson of the complication that
Okay.
is the British Isles?
No.
It is.
I've got you covered. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yes. Do you know what, though? A lot of English British people need to have that explained because we're not sure what is Great Britain, what's United Kingdom, we know what England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales are, but the difference between Great Britain, and United Kingdom. Each one is a different thing.
That's
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm teaching in geography at the moment to the kids at school. That's exactly what our geography unit is what is the British Isles and how does it differ from Great Britain, the UK, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Hey, so he could actually teach me geography.
Yes, he could. He could educate you. I mean,
Yeah,
she is her conviction and everything, no matter how wrong she has such conviction. It's convinced me of things a couple times that I've had to be like, hold on, are you sure? But she does love learning. So
But this is how you bring every boss I know, everybody who's high up in a company is because they have absolute conviction of what they're saying is the truth. It may be completely wrong, but as long as you can bullshit your way through it and make people believe your bullshit, you're going to be the boss. Really.
I'm a great bullshitter.
but bless her, because once you're like, no, Julie, that's not true. She's like, oh, okay, sorry.
Oops.
But you are an author, so you've actually got so you
But,
could just
I mean,
pull
it's
out
all
that as a
fiction,
card.
so
That's what you do.
I'm a good bullshitter.
Can't bullshit a bullshitter. Of course, it's gonna be cows. It's gonna harm.
I think it's probably one of the reasons we picked the subject as our podcast because there's no truth to it. It's all about bullshit. Whose bullshit do you, especially when talking about like urban legends and stuff, what's true? I mean, even we were looking up today about, the various ghosts we were looking up at, and some people will say one thing, you check it for facts somewhere else and say, no, there's absolutely nothing to do with that at all. But it's how you put it over. Which one's the most convincing? Who tells the best story?
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
But I think that's also why we like to go and investigate places too,
Yeah.
because we go and we're like, okay, let's see what we'll experience.
Mhm.
No guarantee we're going to experience something. And we definitely are not the ones to go in and something goes bump and we're like, huh, like
Yeah.
we're very much like, okay, that could be A, B, or C. And we really work it out until we're like, all right, nope, that doesn't have an explanation.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get scared now.
Okay, now we can rationally freak out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to totally agree with you. When we did that, so when we went on our first ghost hunt, both of us were complete and utter skeptics. We were just, it's just people's stories. We'd love there to be something, but didn't believe in it until our first experience of stuff we cannot explain.
Yeah.
And then that's sort of gone from being complete skeptic to definitely in the middle there. And then there's, other things that have happened, and the world is a lot more complicated, I think, than we believe it is.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like for me, when we went to the Museum of Witchcraft in Boscastle, which is not far from you, I was fully expecting it to just be, here's, lots of Sabrina the Teenage Witch stuff. And there was a display of witches in fiction, but then as you started looking into the things that they had there and some of the rituals and routines that they did, the ingredients that they put into potions, and you then start linking it into the old wives' tales, and you then start thinking about Chinese medicine and all of those herbal things, and you then go, hang on a minute,
Witchcraft is basically science.
And you can then sort of go, I understand why people believe that these witches actually had a thing. It's like the cock rock that we saw.
Cockrock, we saw a cock rock and a fanny stone. They had them there, and they were for fertility. Cock rock, and because they looked like.
They look like a cock.
I was gonna say, I have questions. Hold, please. Okay.
They've been in their family for years.
Oh, right.
Well, the cock rock, it was
it's a
literally
type of music,
shaped
really.
like a penis, and the story was that they would put it under the pillow. So if you're a woman and you wanted to get pregnant, you'd put it under the pillow, and then you would then magically become pregnant whilst doing it. But you can understand why they would believe that, because if you're lending it to your friends, going, put it under your pillow and you'll fall pregnant like I did. And then if they all, by some sheer coincidence, all fall pregnant because they've got this penis-shaped stone under their pillow, then of course this whole superstition is going to be built around it. If this is a magic stone.
My precious.
Yeah. And then years later they made it buzz.
The family gave it to the museum because the family stopped believing it, apparently. They couldn't get any kids to believe it anymore, so they gave it to the museum instead.
No, we put the cock somewhere else now.
Yeah, that's it. We're done. This magic is rubbed off. I don't know. Just take it away.
But that was the fascinating thing about the Witchcraft Museum is that, like I said, there was no mention of Satanism and witchcraft until the 1970s, until movies started putting it in there. Up until that point, there was nothing to do. It was all about fertility, health, maybe the occasional curse, but it was still pretty much as a medicine. They were scientists. And we did see a list of people who had been executed or killed for being witches, and there was almost as many men as there were women.
Yeah.
So it was obviously people who had a scientific mind. It's so much easier just to get rid of them.
Right. Yeah. If you start thinking outside the box, you're a witch.
Yeah, that's it. So easy to get rid of people back then.
Yeah.
Now they just call them racist and right wing, isn't it? Over here, that's it. Called right wing, extreme right wing. That's it now. Yeah. You're cancelled.
Yeah.
The same
not
thing
a
as being
witch
burnt
anymore.
at the stake.
Just that.
Yeah. You've only just got to say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and suddenly you're the most evil human on earth. How dare you exist?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please come knocking on your door.
I saw a clip of. There's a show. Actually, I think you guys had it over there too. It was called "Whose Line Is It Anyway?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I saw a clip of that the other day, and it was just like things that they did in this show that wouldn't stand today. And they put one of the actors, they were like, "Oh, you're a piece of toast," and the guy was black, and he popped up, and the guy goes, "Oh, all right, well," and everybody in the audience laughed because everybody got the joke, and even the guy who did it got the joke. It was all funny, and things were humor was just embraced in such a different way back then. I
think that humor will come back. It'll come back very soon. It won't be too long before it comes back. And I don't
hope
think it'll
so,
ever go
because
away.
that was the best.
No, those were
I was actually reading an article today. Sorry, I was just saying there was an article today on one of the websites that how the current generation despise the American Pie films. They think the American Pie films are just disgusting.
Those are like
that's my
that's my childhood.
Yeah.
Which says a lot about me.
That shaped a generation of people. What are you talking about?
I
This
never
one
thought I
time?
would buy the same again.
This one time on the podcast.
Exactly. The fact
time at
that
band camp?
that could be quoted all this time later, like,
Yeah.
come on, those are iconic.
Alison
Iconic.
Hannigan is one of the reasons why I have a thing for redheads. Yeah,
Oh.
because of those films. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say flutists.
Yeah.
I have this thing for a flutist.
Yeah.
I mean,
James
yeah,
Hallway.
they're very talented.
Yeah.
Very, very blessed.
But no, it was the show that the Kumars used to do. What was it? Goodness Gracious Me, was it called?
Yes. Yeah.
There was a sketch in that, going back to you saying about humor that wouldn't go, and they all go out for an English. So they're an Indian. So for the premise, they're an Indian family, and this was the 80s, I believe.
90s, 90s.
Yeah. And they go out for an English, and they're sort of sitting around a table going, "Make it the blandest thing ever! Yeah, I'm gonna have the blandest meat dish on the thing." And the whole joke is all about the fact that when English people go for an Indian, they're like, "Have the spiciest food," and this sort of thing. And he's like, and they're basically taking the mickey out of English culture. And an English person going for an Indian restaurant, and the whole sketch is absolutely hilarious. It goes down in British comedy, but you wouldn't be able to do it today because it's to be able to get away with that joke. Although it's picking fun at white people, you have to understand the racism behind it of the white person going out and being stereotypical.
It's racism.
Well, not racist, but the stereotypes.
The average English person
Yes.
didn't discover spicy food until they discovered their first Indian meal, and that was it.
Well,
there was no seasoning; it was salt and pepper. That was it.
That's just like when, like over here, if we go out for Mexican or anything like that, like we go in there and we're like, whoo, we're, throwing, muy caliente, like we're throwing, hola amigo, like we think we're being like, oh, so inclusive, and like, oh, I know your language. We're being like utter assholes and like insulting them, and they're like, okay, gringa, okay, bye bye. Like,
Stupid white.
yeah, they're like, okay, jalapeno too spicy, okay. So I definitely it just, some of the stuff just wouldn't stick anymore.
No.
It's like,
No.
you have to find that person that'll laugh
with you.
laugh about it with you.
Yeah. Dan's a teacher, so I've got to be very careful what we say around Dan.
Oh, bless you, sir.
No.
Bless you. Not all heroes wear capes.
It's more that I have to be careful what I say and what's recorded and goes out, just in case,
That's true.
Yeah.
So there are bits where I will edit it out of episodes.
He's like, I'm just
purely
gonna cut
because
that
I'm like,
whole
if
section.
somebody hears me saying that bit, they're gonna be a bit.
They're gonna be like, let's get Dan cancelled.
Yeah, that's it. Some have tried already.
Yeah.
Dan's geography is wrong. Britain's not over there.
You should definitely come over here one day. If you booked in a month's worth of ghost tours, you wouldn't. There'd be something to do every single day.
Oh,
Yeah, we
everywhere.
definitely want to get over there at some point.
Yeah.
Big time.
Mhm.
Big
One
time.
of my-
Yeah.
A few years ago, I moved to Plymouth, so in Devon in Plymouth, and just on the quay is where the Mayflower left. Just about half a mile from where I am now. This is where the Mayflower departed for the US.
Wait, they
I
left?
was like, you're in Massachusetts?
Wait, they left out of Plymouth?
Plymouth is where Plymouth. Yeah, they left Plymouth Harbor.
They
But
left
also-
Plymouth and landed.
In
So
England?
that no.
I'm so confused.
No, because the Mayflower came from England, so they left Plymouth Harbor in England
Oh.
and came over, and they were like, "We're gonna name this Plymouth."
Plymouth. Yeah, That's why. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes so much sense. I'm like, wait, it started
know,
in
'cause
Mass
I was-
because I thought
They-
it came
no-
to.
Yeah.
no one accused them of being creative, did they?
Yeah.
Honestly, the amount of things you've named and we're like, wait, no, there's one of those here. What are you talking about? Like, it's crazy. Holy
There's
crap.
everything.
Wait
Especially New
until
England,
we
everything in New England, yeah.
Yeah,
Everything.
wait until
New
we tell
England.
you about the original place called York, which is filled with ghosts. You know, it's an older version of the new one. You know,
Yeah. But we don't
Yeah.
call it Old York, it's just York.
yeah,
It's just, it's the OG York.
yeah.
that OG York, yeah. I'll tell you another one. Next to the plaque on the side that says this is where the Mayflower departed, there's where the colony, the ship that departed to the Roanoke colonies is there as well. And obviously Roanoke is a great story, but the actual plaque is on there as well. They departed from the same place the Mayflower did. So
Wow.
all there's a whole, you know, there was going to be the anniversary
wanna
of,
go
what was
there.
it, 2020?
Yeah.
In 2020, we were going to have a huge celebration in Plymouth for how many years America? 400 years? That's 600 years? What was it? The actual
We don't even
Mayflower.
count anymore.
A long time ago.
Yeah. So they were going to do a huge celebration for when the Mayflower actually departed. So it was because it was like 600 years or something. But then COVID hit and everything shut down. But they built new museums and they put everything in place for this huge celebration, expecting thousands of Americans to come and see where the Mayflower actually left from.
Oh my
And
god.
where everybody was looking to book their, you know, spare rooms were all going to be up on Airbnb, you know, and of course it was all locked down, so the whole thing was cancelled. But yeah, the Plymouth did a lot of stuff for that.
Wow.
That's so cool. I did not know that.
Mhm.
Especially the fact that both of the boats took off from the
Yeah.
same place.
Yeah,
One thrived and one did not.
yeah, it disappeared. Yeah, I do love the Roanoke story. It's great.
Yes.
The fact
Phenomenal.
the captain, he came back. He was in charge of the colony. Came back to the UK to get supplies and support, and then we just happened to start a war with Spain. So they was held for 6 years. He couldn't go back across because of the war with Spain. And by the time he went back, there was no one there, no trace of the colony. It's just
Nothing.
that's bad timing.
Yeah.
It's utterly bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, how bad can you make the circumstances?
Mhm.
Hold my beer.
Yeah. They're still waiting a year later, and it's like, no, he's not going to be back for another 5.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, what would you expect them to do? Like, you were gone that
Yeah.
long. Like, even if they had stayed around for like 2 or 3 years, they're still like, what are you gonna find if they had just up and left somewhere? Like,
Yeah, if it was that desperate, you had to send people back to England. I mean,
yeah,
I'm still fascinated how even back then you could leave, you know, the coast, you leave the States, and actually find yourself back in Plymouth over here to navigate just with compasses, and it's just
oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
I don't think I
technology.
could have been a pirate back then.
no,
No,
No.
nope,
no. I would have been very lost.
yeah. I'd have been
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I don't know. I haven't seen a landmark in miles. There's a lot of blue.
I'll just let Dan steer the ship. Dan will get
Yeah.
us back. He'll be fine. He's a teacher.
Dan will get us
He's got
there.
it.
Somebody go get Dan.
The problem is, if I was in charge of a pirate ship, I would end up sort of going, yeah, I'm a pirate now, like fully going into like the proper hat, and I'll just be running around the deck all the time, just, you know, going, yar, yeah.
Well, that's actually how people around here still speak. They still speak like that around here.
Oh my
People from
gosh.
Devon and Cornwall still speak. Yeah, you should hear their accents. You'll love it.
Oh, we
They
need
sound
to
like
move
pirates.
there.
We need to go
We
there.
need to move there.
That's amazing.
Oh.
Well, it's because when you look at the history of piracy, a lot of it was people from the British Navy and also Spanish navies and what have you defecting and stealing the ships. And a lot of people were from the West Country, so the southwest where Steve is. A lot of the naval people were from that area, so that sort of accent for a pirate is very much originated from Cornwall, Devon, Somerset, and a little bit of Irish in there as well. But yeah,
That's so cool.
That is so cool.
That's so cool.
so that's why TV and film pirates all speak with a West Country-ish accent. Yeah.
I love
Oh my
that.
gosh.
And something else interesting I found out about where I live now is when the Arab slave trade was going, over 1 million people were taken from this part of the country to be slaves in Africa. And so talking like a small area of the country, including the island as well, but over 1 million people were taken as slaves. So much so the sailors, the fishermen wouldn't go out without military escorts because the likelihood of them being taking the slaves. And it's
Yeah.
again, it's something when people talk about the slave trade, they forget about this part of the slave trade, where
Yes.
white people in England and Ireland were victims of that, and they were taken away by their millions.
Well, so when I
yeah.
visited Morocco and went to the slave prison in Morocco, there was all these signs up about. There's this big. It's a fortress on the coast of Morocco, and historically it was a slave trade camp, and it was just filled with Christians, white Christians. And it was just different white people from England, Spain, France, Portugal, and they captured them, round them up, put them in this prison, and then sold them to whoever across Africa wanted to buy them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's crazy. And that only ended like 200 years ago, or nearly 300 years ago.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's-
Which sounds like a long time, but when you actually take a step back
Yeah.
and look at the
It's
big
not
realm of the scope, you're like, oh shit, that's
That
not
wasn't that long
that's
ago.
not good. Deadass.
Wait, I just want to apologize because this is what happened when we met Michael and
Yeah.
when we ended up supposed to have an interview with the guys from Still Your Podcast, and we ended up chatting for the whole time and never got interviewed. It was awful.
Michael and Jeremy?
Yeah.
Michael,
Yeah.
Jeremy,
and
yeah,
Jeremy!
they were aren't they fantastic? They
So-
are so good.
Although we didn't get to meet Jeremy.
No, he was on a
Because
roof.
he was stuck on a roof when we did our interview.
Oh no!
He was roofing and could not get down. So we did it with
Michael and Josh.
Josh, yes, who is like their second
producer,
in
isn't he?
command.
Yeah, he's the producer.
Yeah.
But we ended up getting to do the entire thing with them instead of just the intro and outro.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did hear it. I did hear it
Mhm.
because sometimes people don't even get in there. To be in it, the whole thing is really good.
Yeah.
And they are so good. Their little productions, their audio productions are amazing.
Amazing.
They have a
Yeah.
really cool. They found a really cool like
Mhm.
niche in this
Yeah.
podcast thing where it's like nobody else does this, and it's
No,
just
right.
like it's so fun. And oh yeah, being able to talk to them the whole time
was so much
Oh,
fun.
that was great.
Yeah.
They're such cool guys.
I think we all discovered we're very similar. That was the thing what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. They did say we got to come on again one day, maybe finish an interview. That was it.
Yeah. The thing that I love about our episode, so because we've got mystery investigators in the title, they had arranged a PI to actually be part of it. Go onto YouTube and look for the episode that they did with us, and skip to the bit where they're talking to the private investigator,
Mhm.
because
Just
they've decided to do what was it? The
Smiling Man.
Smiling Man.
The alien.
And they start asking this private investigator about his thoughts of the Smiling Man, and he goes, "Where you get this from?" They go, "Oh, it's from Reddit and various things." "Oh, so it's not real then?" And every time
was
they
so
try and talk
confused.
about the thing, he's just sitting there, and you can see in his face of, "What the fuck have I agreed to do here?" And he just looks really, and he looks like he wants to leave any moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
they
have
didn't tell him what he was going to be investigated at all. He had no idea.
That's great. Oh my god, now I have to go watch that.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Then Jeremy started talking about his personal situation, because he also saw that the guy was losing it. The PI had no interest in this at all. So started talking about his kid, the woman who took his son away, who she's still paying for he's still paying for the boy, but never seen him, and all this stuff. And he ended up giving him advice about how to either get in touch with his son or stop paying the child support.
Oh my god.
So
But the hilarious
it's
thing
a
is
really good episode.
And Michael is spending the whole time to try and get it back on track to talking about the Smiling Man. And every time Michael mentions the Smiling Man, the PI is like, what?
Yeah,
And then
go, go,
Jeremy's
go.
then like, yeah, let's talk about this thing.
We're losing him.
And-
We're losing him.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Oh
Reel it in.
my
We've got to get it back. Let's talk about real things now. Yeah, it was very, very good.
Oh.
A lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
what we thought we'd do a great classic British ghost story, which is Anne Boleyn, right? Henry VIII's wife. And do you know what makes her so
I love
special?
how excited you are. How excited you are, Steph. You've literally
Oh.
just gone, yes.
Yes, I love Henry VIII was a twisted individual, and what he did to those ladies was I gotta say, masterful in the way he played everybody off of each other. Gotta give him a little credit there. But Anne Boleyn was not going down without a fight, and she was a badass motherfucker. I loved her.
Yeah. Do you know, I do think that Henry VIII was our Donald Trump. The man created his own. He created his own religion to get out of marrying people.
That
the
is
only
true.
person I thought
He
could do that
did.
is Trump.
He did do that.
Yeah.
He did. He created his
He
own
was
religion.
like, you know what? I really don't want this one.
I'm going to write
what
the small
if?
print in my own one. Yeah.
And that was with Anne's help, correct?
Or very likely, because it would be that point. It definitely was it? After his first, yes, because he had to get right. What's the order again?
Because he was still married to Catherine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so
the way that he was able to absolve that marriage was if he changed religions and was like, oh well, now I can take a new wife, and that's where Anne. Sorry, I'll let you do your.
No, we did. No. This is great because this is where you can jump in.
Over.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well,
no, that's absolutely fine with us.
But this is brilliant. You know, you probably actually end up listening to that. You probably know more about the history of his wives and everything than we do. So there we go. You could be the resident expert.
And I don't know if you're aware. Apparently, recently they've actually said that famous the picture of Anne Boleyn isn't Anne Boleyn. There's no actual paintings of Anne Boleyn, no portraits.
Right. Yeah.
So that's interesting. Though nobody knows what she really looks like.
Right. It's all kind of interpreted by what people have said she looked like, and kind of like pieced together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Crazy.
So we don't really know what she looked like.
Oh my, she looked like Lynn.
I think she looked like Lynn. Yeah. I think so.
I'm sure she. I don't know who Lynn is, but I'm sure she could have done.
She is.
She is
a very dear, lovely friend of ours who is. She's
obsessed with Anne Boleyn.
Obsessed with
cool.
her. And she could absolutely, she could be Anne Boleyn reincarnated. We don't know. They've never been seen in the same room together, so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you know, that is the best. Yes, absolutely. Well, do you know what? Look at this. Anne Boleyn is everywhere else. She could be there.
But then out of the Boleyns, wouldn't you want to be Mary, though? Because at least Mary didn't, she was still living. Like, because he went from Catherine to affair with Mary to then going with Mary's sister Anne, and then then obviously Anne lost her head, and Mary was like, "Well, I slept
I'll
with
take
him.
Mary."
You know,
I want to be the one that sticks it out. I definitely want to be like the final girl.
Ooh, yes.
But I do have a level of appreciation for. I believe Anne was a woman ahead of her time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that head got to party.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah. That she was so ahead, it just rolled. Off the stage.
Yeah.
Right,
well, funny enough, talking about just one final thing about monarchs. Earlier, Steve said about asked me a question. Was it this George that did this thing? And in my head, because there's a TV show called Horrible Histories, it's actually aimed at children. It's based on some books, Horrible Histories. But there's a song in it called the Monarch Song, which goes through every single monarch and gives little tiny facts about them. So when Steve asked me that earlier, in my head, I started going, William, Mary, Richard, and actually went through the entire song to then go, yeah, it was that one. Yeah. Because he was, because that king was this. Yeah.
The only thing about that sentence, it wasn't in your head, Dan. You were singing that out loud. You said you were singing. That's your outside voice, Dan.
William, Henry, Stephen, Henry, Richard, John, three more Henrys, Edward, Richard III, Henry, Ed again, Mary 1, Good Queen Bess, Jimmy, Charles, and then Jim, Will, Mary, Anna, Gloria, George, Will, Victoria, Edward, George 6, then Queen Liz 2 completes the mix. Not quite. Now there's me, Charles 3. Saw the English kings and queens. Yeah.
That was wonderful.
That was wonderful.
But yeah,
I do that when I say the ABCs. Everyone's like, wait, alphabetize this, and I'm still over there like LMNOP. Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh, I'm so glad. I thought I was the only one who still did that. That's good.
Or the things like the colours of the rainbow going, Richard of York gave battle in vain. Right, okay, yeah, got it now.
Oh, that's not ours.
No, ours is Roy G. Bev.
Yeah, Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Roy G. Biv.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have monarchs to name things off of. Sorry.
Rude. America did not get on the rhyme train.
Yeah, no. They were like, use other things.
So do you not have things like naughty elephant squirt water or never eat shredded wheat for the compass? Do you not have mnemonics like that?
Never eat shredded wheat. Yeah. North, east,
okay.
south, west. Never eat shredded wheat.
Apparently in homeschooling you don't learn enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I do know never eat shredded wheat. I do know that.
Oh. So much fun.
I think it was like we had like 3 hours of laughter. That's all of this. Just 3 hours of laughing. It was great.
If we end up making money through, like, if we end up with more patrons who are actually giving us money to help run the podcast, we might end up with enough money that we can actually jump on a plane and go to America and actually meet them in the flesh.
Well, I've invited them here. We've got enough rooms here in the house for them. If they come to visit, it'd be great. We could just travel the country looking at weird stuff.
Yeah, and I reckon we would have a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah. And then hopefully the listeners will as well.
Yeah.
If we still have any by that point.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we will.
Much about things like that.
Yeah. And hopefully we've still got listeners at this part of the episode where, you know, these Saturdays, it's a bit of something different. So if you're still listening to this Saturday episode, if you're still listening to the Saturday episodes, hello, thank you for listening and joining in on our days of randomness. Hello.
Yeah. And if you want to join us and you've got anything to say or just want to jump in on a call one day, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'd love to talk to more people.
But I also want to get more cool people.
Yeah, you just want Neil Buchanan.
I do want people. Okay, when I say cool people, what I mean is people from my childhood who were celebrities but are now not so much celebrities. So I do want to talk to people like Neil Buchanan.
Who were celebrities but who are just now unknown like us. They're at the same level now, that's it.
Like I want to get Neil Buchanan to talk about art and talk about Art Attack. I want to get Dave Benson Phillips on because I want to talk to him about the fact that I really, 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 really wanted to go and get your own back and ask him if he ever went in the gunge himself. And that's all I want to know is, did he get into the gunge pit himself? Or did he ever? And here's another one for Dave Benson Phillips. Who would he have wanted to get his own back and chuck in their gunge tank?
Now, do you know what? I can't get any of the people who I want from my childhood because they're all dead.
Yeah. Or in prison.
Oh, William Shatner. Yeah, prison. Yeah. William Shatner's still alive. So we could. Well, saying that though, that everybody I've spoken about in the last about 3 months and bought DVDs and said, you got to watch this because this person's in it. They've all died just afterwards. So I should just keep my mouth shut about people.
Yeah, but if we get William Shatner on, we can talk about his singing career. Maybe he can give us a live performance
of his new heavy metal album that's coming up.
Yeah. You see, I still can't get past Rocket Man of, it's going to be a long time till touchdown brings me round again to find.
He still says he doesn't sound like that.
But he does. He does. That's exactly how he sings it.
I love Shatner. Shatner is amazing. Have you seen his Bran Flakes advert?
No.
Yeah, he's just I'm the Shat. Obviously talking about it being high fiber. And every time he turns up, it says, "It's Shat." It's Will Shat. You
Oh.
will do with bran flakes. it's fantastic. I wish it was over here. We need funny commercials again. But yeah, check out the William Shatner's bran flake commercial on YouTube for the US. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love that Shat.
You see, you say funny. All of the adverts I remember as a child were either traumatizing or catchy.
Yeah, we back then, of course, adverts were great because everybody watched commercial television, the same channels, and you had to compete against everybody else. Now there's no money in it. There's no money being spent on adverts because there's a million places you can sponsor or advertise on. So they don't have, which is why we have the same adverts across Europe, just dubbed for so many products. Why we had to change the name of so many brands, because rather than having making an advert for the UK with your brand, we'll just match it with all the others. So we just make one advert and dub it. Yeah, there's no caring, which is why nothing stands out. Nothing is memorable anymore.
Yeah. Or they just get influencers to turn up to an event, chuck a load of free stuff at them, and then they talk about some random tat that they've been given that's got it.
Sponsorship. Again, very, if you've got the right person, then that's the way to get yourself seen, is sponsorship or paying someone to. But you're only going to have their audience. It's never going to go further.
Yeah. You see, the problem is with all of these things, as soon as I see a TikTok video where it's somebody going, "Oh my God, guys, I'm going to this exclusive event being ran by insert brand," I immediately just swipe to the next video.
Yep.
I couldn't care less who they're advertising. I don't care that they're going to that. If it's somebody actually doing a genuine travel review, then fair enough. But if it's somebody like, "Oh my God, I had the opportunity to go to this amazing event," it's like, yeah, it's not an amazing event, is it? It was a thing that you were paid to go to as a sponsorship thing. It's an advert. Everything is going to be amazing about this, isn't it? Yeah. You're not going to criticize something.
One of my favorite YouTube channels going back a few years ago was, I can't remember what this is called now, but Travel with Tim or something. But he used to travel to dodgy hotels, the worst rated hotels, and would go in there and review like these terrible hotels. But then he got to the point where everybody knew who he was. All the hotels would then give him the best room. They would see him booking in. They would give him the best room. And he found out that he couldn't do that anymore. But so now what he does, he goes to the most expensive hotels in the world, where they're obviously sending him there and they're giving him a room for the night and all the £10,000 a night room service. I am not interested in that, because that's just an advert for something that I will never be able to afford. I don't care how other people live, really, when it comes down to it. And I don't want to see that as an advert, so I don't watch his channels anymore.
Yeah, well, it's like the whole stuff around Dubai. I'm not a businessman. I am never going to be a businessman as such. I'm possibly never going to be worth millions of pounds and have a big company of which I need to do trading and operate in a country where I pay zero taxes for having my business based there. You know, I am never going to be in that situation. So I don't care about this whole Dubai stuff. You see it all the time. And the thing is, when you look into it, all it is just big skyscrapers designed for business people, big expensive hotels to get those millionaire and expensive business people in. And that's all it is. It's just a city based around attracting business. And then you look at the outskirts of the place and see how all the workers of those hotels and businesses are actually, how they're living and how they're being treated. And you go, yeah, it's just smoke and mirrors. Yeah. It's just smoke and mirrors. That's all it is.
If someone came to us, though, and said, "We will put you up in our hotel. It's supposed to be haunted. We do, but yes, we will go and we will promote it. But also, if we find there's nothing there, we feel nothing, just like the Jamaica Inn, we will say it."
Yes, and also if you put us up in the best hotel room ever and we find problems, we are going to tell people that there are problems with it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why
not
no one's
going
going
to
invite us anywhere. But it would be great for someone to say, come along, stay in a hotel for a few nights, do an investigation. Brilliant, yeah.
And I'm not going to,
as long as we believe in it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie for the sake of, a free thing.
No.
You know. So I was once asked, with a hat that I used to wear, to advertise a beer. And the video did end up somewhere on social media, although it might be deleted now because the brewery is actually bankrupt now. So it might not be out there. But
So basically what you're saying is don't get you to advertise it because it'll go under.
No, it's completely irrelevant. We're talking years apart.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a news story a few months ago that it's just gone under, and we're talking pre-COVID. This video was recorded, but the video may still be out on social media 6 years ago. It might still be out there, and the video is hilarious because I say who I am. I show the can to the camera, say what the beer is, what brewery made it, and then I've got some in a glass and I try it, and I immediately, my face turns into, this is horrible. And I then look at the camera and go, we're going to have to record this with another beer because that is disgusting.
And they kept that online?
They kept it. They kept it. That was the advert. That was their advert that they put out on social media, was me going, oh yeah, this is who I am. This is, I've drank loads of different beers, loads of different breweries, love this brewery. And then it's me going, here's this beer. And then I go, oh, that's bloody horrible.
With an incompetent marketing department, I'm surprised they lasted that long. That's so good.
But, you know, it was quite funny, though, because, you know, people do the negative things. I know Brewdog, who at the time of recording this, there's loads of news stories about it potentially going under. They made a big thing for a period of time of having all their staff T-shirts have negative reviews from TripAdvisor and stuff.
Well, yeah, Brewdog is a great example of, again, a company building itself on a lie.
Yeah.
And yeah, but yeah, we're not going to go into that. But if people want to look it up, it's very interesting to look up how Brewdog basically, created itself and basically lied about everything lied about their identity totally to get investment and to get money and to get reputation. Yeah, very, very interesting. I'd much prefer an honest business. But can you be honest and successful these days? That's what I say.
No. Let's go away and think about it, ready for next week.
Yeah, you basically want to go for a beer. That's what you want to do now.
Yeah,
with Brewdog and you down the pub.
Yeah.
But thank you to the Bantering Banshees for a fantastic experience.
Yes, thank you, ladies. You were amazing. And do go over and give the Bantering Banshee some love. Please do.
Yeah, absolutely. They're well worth it.
All right, until next time, guys, we've been the Boo-Foons, and we will continue to be the Boo-Foons. Bye.
Bye.
Boo-Foons, mystery investigators.
Off the